So we will stand up to start. Hopefully you can see me. Jackie, I'd lost your picture. It just says Jackie's iPad too. But anyway, so feet to start with, hip width apart. Start thinking about drawing the tummy button into the body. Allow the shoulders just to hang and be nice and loose. And as we're all a little bit tense today, maybe we'll do a few shoulder rolls. So take them up to the ears and round behind. And just take this time to breathe and feel how your balance is this morning, because we're going to work a bit on that to start with. So feel the energy through the whole body from top to toes, spread the toes nice and wide on the floor, and then reverse the direction of the shoulders. Maybe each time just taking that circle a little bit bigger, working through any crunches. And as we stand here, let's say feel your feet firm the earth. And imagine you've got a string running all the way up your spine and up through the top of your head and through the back of your neck. So you're sort of being dangling from a cloud. And just let the arms loosen. What we're going to do next is simply bend the knees, send the bum behind you, bring the arms forward so the back of the hands come together. Imagine you're holding a big beach ball. Breath in here, then squeeze the bum to stand and open and stretch up your heart to the ceiling. So butterfly arms is what I call this, opening and stretch. And again, breathing nice and wide and full. As you lift your heart to the ceiling, you can breathe out as you stand forward and send your bum way behind you. So you don't want your knees going over your toes. You want to think downhill skier. Just a couple more of these. Nice, simple opening and flexibility, stretching and breathing. Fabulous. Then we're going to take one foot, put it in front of the other. So this might itself be a little challenge. Think squeezing the inner thighs. And for now, just do the same arms without bending the knees. So just bring the backs of the hands together and open out to the side. I can just see how everyone's doing today. I'll probably fall over a lot quicker than any of you. That hasn't been going well. One more. And open. Lovely. Then see if you can do the same bend of the knees, keeping in that position, and then opening out. So one foot touching the front of the toes of the back foot. I'm going to draw my tummy button into the spine. Just stay upright. One more. And then same side. So bring the other leg forward and in front. So again, heel of the front leg on the toes of the back leg. Set yourselves up, draw out the tummy button to spine. And we'll start again just without any bends. Bring the arms. So you net the front foot on the floor flat. That's it. Thank marvelous, everyone. So as you're doing so well, again, bend the knees, breathing out, send the bum back, or wobbling this way. Breathing in to open. Good. Lovely. Two more. And final time. And now, without bending the knees, you can keep the leg position. Close your eyes, and again, just close and open the arms. See how long you can keep going. And you will find the more you get frustrated, the harder it will be. So really try and relax. Think tall up to the ceiling. Do one more in this way. And then change the leg position so the other leg comes forward again. Heel of the front leg touching the toes of the back leg, squeezing the inner thighs together, closing your eyes, relaxing. Oh, see, falling over on this side, can't do it. And then opening and closing the arms. Seriously, really bad. Obviously, with my focus on older people recently, it has re-highlighted to me the importance of balance and being able to stop ourselves falling. It's just nice and relaxed. Closing and opening. 2 more. You're doing brilliantly. Final one. Fabulous. Okay, on to easier things, but no less important. Standing again, feet hip width apart. We will continue with a bit of back extension, arms out in front of you. Allow the shoulders to draw back. So you've got a nice flat back, and think pressing the upper arms behind you. As they come behind you, lift the heart, rotate the arms so the thumbs go behind and turn away like you do with the arrow on the floor, and then come back to the start. So your ribs should be floating over your pelvis, breathing out to press the arms back, keeping them nice and straight. Breathe in to rotate, thumbs away, and breathing out to bring them back. Lifting the heart, rotating the arms as you breathe in, and then come back. One more this way. Pressing back as you breathe out. Breathing in to lift the heart, rotating the arms, and breathing out. Bring them forward. Breath in to prepare. This time you want to squeeze your bum because you're going to come onto your toes as you send the arms behind you. Exactly the same movement. Breathing in to rotate. Breathing out to come back down to the start. And trying to think straight up to the ceiling. It's very easy to shift our weight forward as we come up. Very much trying to lift straight up in the air. A couple more so I can watch what's going on. Breathing out to send the arms behind. Breath in to lift the heart, rotate the arms, and breathing out to come back down. Lovely. One more. That's it. Good. Then one arm at a time, staying feet flat on the floor. We'll add the rotation. Breathing out, keeping the front of the hips forward, just rotating with the ribs, and then coming back. Same side. 5 more. Breathing out to rotate, and breathing in to recenter. So keeping the front of the hips forward, just allowing the ribs to lead the movement, and focusing on the back of the arm. Good. One more of these. And then we'll add on the balance to this as well. So same side. Again, as you rotate, press the upper arm behind you, ribs, rotate round. Squeeze me in the thighs. Lordy, lordy. Oh dear. breathing out. Think nice and tall, relax. Rotate the ribs, inner thighs, squeeze together, bum squeezes, tummy button squeezes into the body. Mad, isn't it? The most simple things can suddenly become a challenge on this Tuesday morning. One more this way. It's also a chance, the more reps we do, for the body to understand and learn the pattern of movement and what you're asking of it. Then to the other side, if you want to give your arms a shake, feel free, obviously, without coming up onto the toes. Just 5 basic rotations to feel how this side of your body is working today. That's it. So keeping those hips forward, pressing back as you breathe out, rotating the ribs. So watching the arm go behind. I've lost count, so just do one more. And then add on 5 coming up onto the toes. So breathing out, squeezing the bum, thinking inner thighs, thinking back of the arm, leading, and then coming back down, breathing. Noticing again whether this side is easier to control, whether you have to work harder. This is lovely. Good, final time. And then arms can just dangle by your side. Squeeze the hips into the body, lift up onto your toes, and we will plant. So working the ankles, bringing one knee forward in a straight line, up and down. So I don't want to see any nice hitching. It's simply headlights forward, getting the knees and the ankles to work, thinking about connection through the inner thigh to give you extra stability, obviously tummy button drawing into the body to keep the trunk stable. That's it. Speed it up a little bit if you wish. That's it. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, 1. And again, feet hip width apart, arms like so. So holding a beach ball in front of your chest, bend the arm overhead nice and loosely, side bending, breathing out, bend over, breathe in to swap the arms, and then that allows the top arm to help lift you back up to the start, and we'll go to the other side. Breath in to change arms, breathe out, tummy button to spine, come back to the start. That's it. And again, thinking up and over a beach ball that's tapped over your waist on the side. Feel the stretch. And even with your arm up in the air, allow the shoulders to loosen and just hang down the body. And one more to each side. Final one. Nice and controlled. That's it. And then again, allow the body just to hang. Coming to the end of your mat, we'll end up on the floor, but for now, what we're going to do is do a few standing roll downs. So we'll do a few rolling up and down. If you feel dizzy, don't go too far. Then we will end up on hands and knees or into a cobra. So Maria, if that's not going to work for you, stay on hands and knees and I'll talk you through what to do. But for now, come to the end of your mat. I will readjust mine because then you will see on the floor a bit easier. So allow your arms to hang, not the chin. Again, think about the chest, sternum coming up and over the beach ball, but your tailbone still pointing down to the floor. So you're getting a little bit of flexion through the back as much as possible. Just as far as the knees. Breath in to hold, then breath out. Rolling back up, standing again. Keeping the shoulders nice and heavy. So small movements to start with. Again, checking your position, feet facing forward, tailbone pointing down to the mat. So imagine you're leaning against the wall and you're just rolling your upper body forward off it, keeping the thumb against it. Coming back to standing. And again, one more. This time going a little bit lower. If it's feeling fine, so you can think about your tailbone going up against the wall and a bit higher and get down to my ankles, tummy button to spine. To reset. And then this time, nodding the chin, going all the way down. You can, you need to bend your knees. You can put your hands back flat on the floor, walk them forward into a downward dog position. Keep your knees bent if you need to. And then bend them a little bit further and you can take your heels off the ground. Think about the shoulders drawing down your back still and straighten again. So we're getting some flexion as we bend the knees and extension as we straighten the legs if you can. One more. And bend the knees, walk the hands back to the feet. Rolling up. Very slowly, one vertebra at a time. Trying not to get dizzy. And final time of these. Nodding the chin, rolling forward. When you find your hands on the floor, walk them forward into a downward dog and a little bit further. So Maria can come onto hands and knees. Anyone else who wants to can come onto hands and knees. Otherwise, take yourself down to the mat. Separate your legs and think lifting the heart. So you're in a little bit of a cobra. Maria, from here, think about softening the shoulder blades and lifting your heart. So you're doing a bit of a cow opposite to a cat. And those on the floor in a cobra, if they come down and relax. And then again, lifting the heart, squeezing the bum. Nice and lifted, that's it, gorgeous. And back down again. One more. Lift the heart. Just a bit of stretch through the tummy button area. That's it. And relax down. So from here, Maria, you can come to standing. If you're still not comfortable lying on your front, everyone else, make yourself comfortable, hands underneath forehead, and we'll just do some bum squeezing. So standing up or lying down, just want you to think about narrowing at the hips as you breathe out. Squeeze the bottom for a count of 10, absolute 100% squeeze. And then relax. So you just stay nice and straight. And then think about narrowing in at the hips, squeezing the bum 100%. And we're trying to isolate those muscles so you don't get the leg involved too much. Elaine, I'm very sorry, I can't see you at all. Thank you. So holding that squeeze for a count of 10, then relaxing. So we learn to loosen and let go as much as re-engage and strengthen. One more of these. And then from there, those of you on the floor, make sure your legs are rotated so the front of your thighs facing the floor and the front of your feet are facing the floor. Take your arms out in front, draw the shoulder blades down. Send your pubic bone into the mat, slight squeeze of the bum. 50% effort, I guess, from the bum squeezes, then lift with a straight leg and lower an arm. So again, the focus is on the back of the leg, starting small. So Marie can do exactly the same thing standing. But I guess with one arm, you can just take one leg behind you, focusing again on that stability. Keep at that level. That's it. So from the standing bit, try not to move around too much on the changeover. Everyone lying down, keep the legs as long as you can, no bend in the knees. Really trying to focus on the area just below the thumb crease and the upper thigh. That's it. Do one more on each side. Maria, if you want to change, you can come onto hands and knees and do the same thing as the dog. So you can do that one. Everyone else, you want to sit back into a nice child pose, release the back if you need to, and then come back onto your front. Just speed it up again. This time to squeeze the bum, lift the legs, lift the arms, and do opposite tapping down. Trying to keep your body as stable as possible. The neck, not just chin a bit more, crown of the head reaching away, and arms also, alternate arms tapping down. So opposite arm and leg tap down. That's it. If it's too much today, then go back to slow lifting and lowering. We really want to make sure everyone's safe. That's it, lovely. Good, Elaine. That's it, Maria, lovely. Good, Jackie. And 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Then sit back into a child pose. Release the back. It is hard work being on your front. From there, if you've got a cushion or a pad, we're going to move straight onto our side, and we'll start with that lovely chest opener rotation. So have the cushion so you can roll onto it. We want to be sitting in an imaginary formal chair, palm on palm. Thinking about the underneath waist, drawing up away from the mat, tummy button drawing in, shoulders down, away from the ears. Always something to think about. And then as you breathe in, you take the arms to the ceiling. Breathe out, keep the legs and hips where they are, rotate the ribs. Watch the arm as it gets taken behind you. And it may or may not reach the floor, as I always say. Breath into hold, and on the next out breath, really engage the abdominals, make sure they're working, and rotate the ribs, bring the arms back to the front. And again, breathing in to take the arms to the ceiling, breathing out to rotate. Breath in to hold, And breathing out. And back to the start. And do 2 more in your own time. Use your whole breath. Keeping the knees together, the hips stable. Lovely, good. Maria, if you can, just bring your arms a little bit lower and shoulder underneath, shoulder away from your ear a bit more. That's it. Good. And then after your last one, you can shift the pad away or the cushion away, angle your knees slightly away from you. We'll work on our shell series. So tummy buttons drawing in again. Have your hand on hip if it helps, or in front, and breathing out to lift the knee, breathing in to close. So really don't want to just roll it open. You want to sink forward and up just to get the leg in the hip socket rotating, and to feel a little bit of effort working. That's it. Good. 2 more. Final time here. And then shift the position, coming onto your forearm. So again, keeping the shoulder away from the ears, thinking that orange under armpit strength. And again, same thing, opening and closing. So to get that straight position, you can turn your head, look at the mat, make sure there's no tension through the neck. Breathing out to open and breathing in to close. I can definitely feel it, so I really hope you're just not thinking, we're just wafting our knees. And then 1 more. Lifting up. So you're on the lower leg of the underneath leg, hand behind your head. And we can open the knee and extend the leg, bring the knee back and close. Open, extend, knee and down. So we're hovering the bottom off the mat if we can. If not, stay sitting, that's fine, good. Good. And do 1 more. Lovely. Okay. So we'll have choices for the next one because everyone's working at a different level, which is absolutely perfect. So anyone who wants an extra challenge, you can come up onto your forearm, extend the leg forward and do a side kick as we've just been positioned. You can stay down on the forearm with the underneath leg slightly in front and long, and the same thing, or come down to lying if it's all too much today. Especially Elaine, if you're still recovering, just take it down to a level that's comfortable. So I'll come up onto my lower leg, hand behind head, extend whatever version you're doing, the top leg to hip height, flex the foot, 2 kicks forward, squeeze the bottom to take it behind. That's it. So I'm working really hard to keep the top leg up at hip height. I'm not taking any tension into my shoulder. I'm being lifted by an imaginary hoist under my waist. So if you find you're sinking into your shoulders, just give the side a little bit of an extra squeeze. So come down if you need to. We'll just do a couple more. It's hard. Don't overdo it, Jackie, just out of stubbornness. Good. And then relax from that point. Relaxing, okay. Extend the underneath arm if you can. Again, if you want your cushion between your head and your arm, feel free. Lengthen the legs away. Find the underneath weight, draw it away from the mat. And we'll breathe out and lift those legs up without rolling forward or back. And breathe in to place them down. So again, either a little hand in front for balance. You don't have to come up very high. All about the precision movement. Keeping the inner thighs glued together and imagining the underneath leg is doing the lifting of the top leg. That's it. Making sure you're looking at the mat as you lift your head if there's any tension in the neck. That's good, nice and stable. Lovely. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. 2 more. Final one. And keep the legs nice and long. Give the top hip a little bit of a stretch away to make sure you're in alignment. Lift that top leg to hip height. And again, hand in front for balance if you need it. Breathing out to squeeze the underneath inner thigh, lift the leg and lower it. Keeping that top leg nice and long on the same level. And holding it up the whole time. And then lifting and lowering nice and slowly that underneath leg from the inner thigh. That's it. Then keep your head down. Try not to take any tension into the shoulders. But if the hands in front for balance, it's just loosely there. And remember, your feet are not doing anything. They're just hanging at the end of the leg. You're getting that inner thigh doing some work. You never fail to impress me how easy you make these look. Lovely. Keep breathing. Keep the body relaxed but engaged. And that focus on the inner thigh, lifting and lowering. 2 more. Yeah. So we're just doing this side to start with. So give that hip a little rub if you need to. And then roll over onto your back. And have a choice today. We'll do leg circles. So either have both knees bent and things in the hip socket for 8 in each direction, or long. And then if you're feeling strong enough, or anybody who wants to have both, just be comfortably in of your back, you can do both leg lifts, leg circles. So if you're coming into that position, you want your hands underneath your bum and your pelvis to lift it off the mat. You really want tummy button to spine, and then you take the legs down, out and around for 8. But you won't go too big because you really do not want any shifting in the back. So really make sure you're working at a level you're happy with. If it's just one leg, again, it's just the leg moving in the hip joint, either bent or straight. Lovely. Really make sure if you're doing those double legs, your tummy button is drawing through the body, nailing it to your hands behind, because otherwise you can really pull the muscles, and this is not what it's about. Lovely. Then when you've done 8 in both directions, just hug your knees into your chest, because you'll all be working differently. That's it, Maria. Nice and stable on the non-working knee. Good, Elaine. Oh, Jeanette, that looks so simple and easy. Fluid and really good, Jackie. Don't do too many more. Make sure hug your knees in when you're done. We've got plenty more to work on. Right. So as you're lying on your back, everybody's favourite, stretch your legs away. Have arms overhead. Breath, take them to the ceiling. Nod the chin, flex the feet, tummy button the spine, rolling up to sitting. If that's not going to work for you today, roll over onto your side to come up to sitting. And we'll roll back down the other way. So sending the tailbone away from you. Once the back hits the floor, you want to think about drawing tummy button to spine and draw your feet towards your bottom. And we'll do a pelvic tilt to roll up, arms overhead. And then softening through the chest as we normally do, bringing the arms to the ceiling, send the legs away, and continuing our roll back up to sitting. Or if you're really not feeling it today, just stick with pelvic tilt. So bending your tailbone away from you, rolling down, keeping the shoulders nice and wide and relaxed. That's it. Drawing the feet, using the tummy towards the bum. Continue sending your pubic bone towards you, arms to ceiling, arms overhead. Keeping that curve through the back. And then your next out breath, softening through the chest. Healing down. And bring your arms to the ceiling, sending your legs away from you, continuing, nodding the chin, rolling up. Coming to sitting. Good, everyone. I can see you on my computer, even though I'm not looking at my camera. That's it. Rolling back down again. Drawing the feet in towards the bottom. That's it. Hands overhead. Really having to work the abs, curling up. Individual piece by piece through the spine. And then on your next out breath to soften and calm back up. Lovely, Maria. Good. I'm not watching Jackie, don't worry. Lovely, Jeanette. That's it. One more time, rolling back down. Taking the arms up overhead, drawing the feet in, tummy button to spine, healing the back off. And coming back up, sitting, and do one final roll down, so you're ending back down on your backs. That's it, Jeanette. Lovely. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. And then after your last one, when you're down there, rolling over onto your side that you haven't worked, getting your cushion and your pad, sitting in that imaginary formal chair, underneath shoulder, drawing away from the mat. Palm over palm. So take a moment to set up. Don't worry, don't rush. Make sure your abs are engaged underneath the waist. And when you're ready, breathing in to lift the arm to the ceiling, breathing out to use the ribs and the lats and transverse muscles to rotate the ribs. Breath in to hold, and on the next out breath, re-engage all those muscles to draw the ribs back, to bring your arm back to the start. So it's nice and slow and controlled, so full control of what your body's doing. Keeping the lower half nice and stable, and enjoying the width and the breath through the ribs. That's it. Good. I think Maria and Jackie, bend your knees slightly further up for the last one. So Maria, bring your knees up towards, that's it. And keep the knees stacked on top of each other. So make this one your last. Good, re-engaging through the abs. Then you can move your underneath arm to a position that's comfy under your head, ready for the shell. So we will angle the knees away from us, so our heels come in line with the middle of our bum behind us. So angle your knees slightly further away from you and bring your feet back a bit. That's it. And from there, breathing out to lift that knee and breathing into close. So all the time I'm still thinking about the underneath weight, drawing away from the mat. Make sure that my body is stable and my legs is the only thing that's moving. Shoulders are relaxed, trying to breathe, trying to remember to smile. That's it. Good. So remember, those of you who are very flexible, as soon as you feel you're just sitting the back and forth, stop at that point. Or if you think you can just turn your knee behind you, stop at a point that you're in control of fully. One more. And coming onto the forearm, same thing, just different dynamics. So think looking towards the mat, underneath waist, drawing away from you. Again, breathing out, open, breathing into something. That's it. Make sure you're not sinking into the shoulder as you tire. If you tire, obviously. Nice and proud and full. Final one of these. And then taking hands behind the head, palm on the bony bit. Think lifting the bum off the floor to come onto your lower leg. If you're happy to, don't sink into the shoulder. So think strong underneath. And the same thing, opening the knee. Then if you're happy, extend the leg away. Come back. That's it. If it's too much today, just go down a level again. Don't worry. That's looking so good. Yeah. One more. And relax for 2 seconds. Ready for our side kick. So again, you can either stay up here on the forearm, extend the leg away, flex the foot, 2 kicks forward, and squeeze behind, or come down with the underneath leg nice and long. So still having to work your balance, whatever version you wish to try. So again, if you're up, make sure you're not sinking into the shoulder and putting any strain through that underneath weight. Really pulling up, keeping the leg on that hip level. Try not to let it drop as things tire. It's a hard exercise to hold. That's it. Good. Couple more. And then gracefully after your last one, collapse with a long underneath arm, because our double leg lift will feel so much easier. So again, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Hand in front for balance if you want. Fingertips lightly rested, shoulders nice and relaxed. Underneath weight storing in. If you feel your lower back at all doing this, just angle your legs forward. And if you feel it's really, really easy, maybe angle your whole body slightly forward as you're possibly leaning back. Because none of this should be easy, however many times we do it. Good. That's lovely, Jackie. 2 more. Final one. And lifting that top leg to hip height, stretch it away, give that top hip a little bit of a lengthen, and it's just squeezing the underneath leg up and down. So again, feet are nice and relaxed, top leg doesn't move, all the work being done through the inner thigh, shoulders nice and relaxed. That's it, there we go. Feet not doing anything. Good, Maria, lovely. Fabulous, Elaine. Easy peasy, Jeanette, and really good, Jackie. 2 more. And then you can relax, just roll over onto your back, tuck your knees in, have a breather. And then gradually roll over onto your side, come to sitting. And as I always give you options, you can either sit on a pad or a cushion. You can have your legs slightly bent, ideally sitting on your bony bit, legs long, glued together, arms out to the side, ready for our spine twist. So you're thinking, breathing in to rotate the ribs around, breathing out, you're spiraling up to the ceiling as you recenter. So the shoulders stay placed, they don't move, they don't shift, it's just the ribs. And you're thinking up, ball. That's it, relax the shoulders. If it's too much with the arms out, Just bend the elbows. And again, Jack, if it's too much on your back in the position, try bending your knees so you don't have too much to pull. That's it. One more to each side. And then you can relax the shoulders, give your legs a little shake if you need to. Separate them slightly. And then arms out in front again, taking the shoulders, drawing back. So your back's nice and flat, and we will stretch forward into our spine stretch. So remember, imagine someone's pulling your waist away, you're stretching your arms along the line that they started on, head aiming between them, and then sitting tall again. So although we are stretching the fingers towards the toes, it's the whole upper back that's moving towards and giving that movement forward. The lower back is being pulled away, which is why I keep sort of saying it's like a human hairpin. It's quite challenging to do. It's, as always with these exercises, it's the intention and it's getting the brain the best pattern of movement. It might be tiny, tiny, but it's still getting the deep muscles working. That's it. Do one more. This one just picks me up into a little sweat, I have to say. And then again, shake your legs out, shake your arms if you want to, separate your legs and arms come either side of the outside again. If you want to be sitting on your pad for some height, otherwise breathing in to rotate, breathing out, aim to store off a little toe, so you've got two-way stretch, breathing in to reset, breathing out to center, breathing in to rotate, breathing out to store off, and again the opposite leg stays glued down. And again, it just takes one rotation to meet the shape from head to toe doing this hard work. That's it. So you can use the hand behind you on the floor to give you a little oomph forward if you want to. Lovely. Good, and that's gorgeous. That's the delay. Keep that left leg glued to the floor though. That was good. One more to each side. And then when you finish your last one, just pull your legs slightly closer together. Give it a shoulder roll. Take the arms behind you, either hands facing out to the side or forward. We're going to squeeze the bum just to lift up into a little back plank, because why not? Feels so nice, stretches out onto the side, so you can press your bum up a little bit further if you can. And then come back to sitting, roll and lie down. Feet hip width apart, knees pointing at the ceiling, and we'll bridge into the little bicycle. So you want to narrow at the hips, squeeze the bum to lift you up into that nice long bridge position. Squeeze the left buttock, unpeel the right leg to the ceiling, pointed toes, then bring it down to the mat, draw it in. So we're just doing either a little pony prance or a bicycle, whatever you want to call, and you want to keep those hips stable and in the same alignment throughout. So if you feel the dropping down, just focus on basic bridging. Don't worry about doing the leg action. One more. And then change sides. So again, extra squeeze on the standing leg, which is my right leg, drawing my left leg to the ceiling, directing it away from me, drawing it back. So my abs are engaged, the sides of my body are engaged. My bottom is breathing and breathing, allowing the legs to move. keeping the hips on the same level. That's it, wonderful. One more. Finish with your feet down on the ground. Come back. Re-engage the abs, lift one leg up into head to top, then the other. Then the knee slightly away from you, still really engaging so your low back is increasing to that. Just rapidly wind down or opposite toes, breathing away from the nice and calm and control. And as always, you tap the toe down, bending the knee, that's nice and easy. With the take the whole leg further away from you. Just that extra transition of using the deep muscles. That's it. One more on each side. And then hard your knees in. Excuse me. And keep hold of one leg. Don't hold your knee, either the shin or underneath the thigh. Draw it into the body. Stretch the opposite leg away. And just breathe into that. And as you're holding the leg, widen the shoulders so they spread out onto the mat behind you. And then change sides. So you can lengthen both legs away for a moment, then draw the other leg in nice and safely. Just breathe, center yourself, widen the shoulders. As the front of the thigh and the hip flexor relaxes, you'll be able to draw that leg closer to the body. That's it. And then release, roll over onto your side, come up to sitting. Lengthen one leg away, bend one knee, so you're again hugging it into the body. Take the opposite arm, so my left arm is hugging my right knee, and rotate. So you're looking away from that leg, on both legs. Stretching out. That's it. Come back to center. You can change sides on the arm rather, so you're just rotating the other way. You should feel the long leg lengthening and stretching. And then change legs. Again, draw the knee in, body as close as you can, but it's comfy. Opposite arm to that knee, hugs it, so you're pulling the knee into the chest and turning the chest to the bent knee. Think about lengthening and stretching the long leg. And then release the tension, tuck the knee in with the same arm and rotate the other way. Nice and simple. That's it. And release. And you're done for another week already. Well done.